So let's set up our animation that's going to make our players run. Because currently, if we were to hit play and go to our scene view, we have to select our players first, so I'll hit 3. If we go to our scene view, we see that we have this idle animation where we're kind of just standing here, but that's the only animation that we could do. And if we were to move right now, we would just kind of slide doing this animation. So we're going to set up an animation that will allow us to actually have our player run while they move between their tiles. So let's go ahead and go to our prefabs, go to the characters folder. You can select any of these 4 characters, and we're going to double click on the controller value in the animator component. So if we double click on that, it's going to bring us to what's called the animation state machine. And this is the thing that controls how our player is animated. You can move around by using the scroll wheel to zoom in on wherever your mouse cursor is. I believe you can also hold the Alt key and left click to move the screen around in this window. So what we want to do is make a transition going between our run and idle states here. So to do that, we right click on idle, select make transition, and then click run. We then want to immediately select that transition and disable has exit time. We don't want to have exit time because we don't want there to be any delay between when we exit that transition and when we don't. We're also going to expand settings and uncheck fixed duration. So that's going to mean that we'll transition between our animations instantly, which is exactly what we want. We're then going to right click on run and do the same thing, click down to idle and make another transition going back. And then we're going to make sure we check the same settings. We're going to disable has exit time and disable fixed duration. So now we've got our 2 transitions set up. Let's go ahead and set up the parameter that's going to handle controlling our animation. So we're going to click on this parameters tab here, and we see this window says that the list is empty. We're going to click the plus icon in the top right and select bool. This is going to be a Boolean value that will control whether or not that run animation is currently playing. We're just going to call this running. And then in our transitions here, we want to hit the plus in conditions, but make sure we're paying attention to which transition we have selected. So in this case, we have the transition from run to idle. So we want to make this transition happen when running is set to false. So we're going to hit the plus button. Running and true are going to pop up here. We're going to change true to false. And then we're going to select our other transition from idle to run. Hit the plus button again, and then we have this running true condition set up here. So now when in our code, when we set this running Boolean value to true, we'll switch to our running animation, and when we set it to false, we'll switch back to our idle animation. Once you've got this set up, go ahead and save your scene.